To be convinced. I'm going to be very honest. I don't know that I believe in horoscopes or astrology, but a lady who is here is going to try to convince me that the stars actually do affect our lives. As King Lear said in a Shakespearean play, the stars above us govern our conditions. And good morning, first of all, to Mary Michele and to Lori Blanchard.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
All right, I need to know, first of all, what is astrology? What is a horoscope? How do you go about doing these things? Mary Michele?
Astrology was created several thousand years ago in the area of Babylonia and Chaldea, and it was invented for people to know a little bit about the weather. Basically, they needed to know, when it was going to rain. They needed to know when the seasons were going to change. They needed to know when to be able to go to war, when to stay home, that kind of thing, because they didn't have television or radio to tell them, so they needed to figure this out. And they did this by looking at the constellations in the sky, which would change throughout the year. And at any one particular time, there'd be one particular constellation that would be overhead where the sun would be. In astrology, we deal with 10 different bodies. I say bodies because there are 8 planets and the sun and the moon are not planets. So anyway, when you talk about astrology, normally people think of their sun sign, which constellation the sun was in at the time they were born. But also you have to take into consideration all of these other bodies, the moon being extremely important, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So as you can see, there are a lot of different things that we're dealing with. And then each one of these planets or bodies are in a different sign. So we're dealing with 10 times 12, and then when we do a horoscope, we're looking at a picture of all of them in different houses, which is there are 12 houses, so it's 10 times 12 times 12. So there are many, many combinations when you do someone's chart and you look at it. Today, I had kind of wanted to talk about what the day is. Today is Tuesday, and in the ancient belief, Tuesday was Mars Day. In French, it's Mardi. Which is the day
Lundi,
of...
mardi, mercredi, jeudi.
Exactly, right.
Vendredi, samedi, dimanche.
Okay, so Monday, yesterday, is Moon Day. And as a rule, people feel a little bit on Mondays, or my impression is that they don't really want to get out of bed and go to work.
You've been here, huh?
Right. And I think that in the old days, the idea of the Moon Day was the day that one did the washing. Cleaned up, cleaned the house, and you, like the moon, which is representative of water and our daily routines, it was the day that you did more introspective kind of things.
Now, when you said earlier that they created astronomy, did they create it or did they discover it? Did they discover that, oh, when this constellation is in the sky, this seems to be happening? Did they discover it, or do you think it was created? These men invented, or was it existent and they just happened upon it?
They discovered the stars, but they created the names in the images of the constellation.
Okay, they named it.
They named it.
Okay.
So, because if you look at the constellations, they don't look anything like... I mean, it's very hard to see in the constellation of Sagittarius a guy with the bow and arrow that's half horse and half man.
Okay.
It's difficult.
Let me re-identify Mary Michele, who is an astrologer, and she'll work on a horoscope. If you have a question, 241-1310, and we are inviting questions today. You said that each of the days has a different meaning, and I'm assuming now also, if we do the 12 times 12 is 144 times 10, there are about 1,440 different commutations or permutations of what your life is going to be like. Planets each have additional significant meanings?
Yes, of course. Each planet has a different story, but it will relate to the sign. So if you think of the planet Mars today, it relates to the sign of Aries. Okay? So it's about... Aries was the god of war. The Roman name for him was Mars, right? So you have the Greek and the Roman names. The Greeks really took the information from the Babylonian, Chaldean, and Egyptians and made it as we understand things today, the kind of language that we use. And each generation of astrologers and people that are interested in this metaphysical science has a different language. I mean, the way people talk about it today is different than the way they talked about it 100 years ago.
How is it different?
Well, I think before there was considerably more secrecy. People didn't want to, they really believed that things had to be hidden to have value. And I think today people feel that the more they can understand, there's a psychological underpinning to most anything, and the more that we can understand, the better off we'll be. I mean, this is not to say that people didn't always feel that way, but I think in the old days, sometimes knowledge was dangerous and different people were in power and they didn't want other people to have the knowledge and so on, which I don't think is true today. Although there are many different types of astrologers.
Excuse my skepticism, but you know, we have yesterday's New York Post, your daily horoscope with Patrick Walker, and something out of the Gannett paper. All right, you happen to like him, and Joyce Gilson, who does the astrology column for the horoscope column for the Gannett chain. And I was looking at this. We read this earlier. Lori, I'm going to take you. I know your birthday is August 22nd, correct?
Yes.
You are the last day of Leo.
I'm a cusper.
Okay, and it says, the foundations of your daily existence are undergoing a profound and none too subtle change of emphasis. Few signs are under so much pressure at this moment. Fewer still are able to cope with it. Take life as it comes and keep your plans flexible. What was your comment to that?
My comment or Laurie's?
Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, if you read this, it's a day later. Did this actually come to pass or what? You know, this is why I sit here and I admit, and I told you I'm a little skeptical of you know, looking at the signs and things like that. Because every day I read it and I say, well, geez, it didn't happen to me today. And I wonder about this. So make me a believer.
I think it's a philosophical question or a philosophical comment that the astrologer is trying to make, because sun sign astrology, which is what this is in the newspaper, it is only dealing with the sun. So they're giving you one little tiny portion of the pie here for you to try to develop and understand.
Oh, so there are different types of astrology? There's sun, there's...
Well, in everybody's chart, you have all of the different planets and the different signs. Everybody has every planet and every sign.
So this particular horoscope
is your
writer
sun.
is the sun.
You're dealing
with the sun primarily.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were different categories.
See, I'm learning.
I didn't know
so
that either.
I think if you get some knowledge, you become, you know, when you hear more about it, you begin to think that way. We do have a call. Shelley is on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, you're on the air with Mary Michele.
Hi, Mary Michele. How are
Hi,
you?
Shelley.
I'm a Libra, and I always had a question about whether I was born on the cusp or not.
Do you mind telling me the year you were born?
I have to tell you.
Well, nobody
Yes,
can
you do,
see you.
Shelley.
Don't worry.
1957.
1957? 1957.
And what is the date of your birthday?
September 25th.
September 25th, 1957.
What day of the week was that? Do you know?
A Wednesday.
A Wednesday. Oh, God. You see,
It's all right
she
here.
knows this.
Told me.
All right.
All right. You were born under the sign of Libra. You were at 1 degree of Libra, and you have the moon in Scorpio. So.
So what does that mean? The moon in Scorpio, 1 degree of Libra.
1 degree of Libra. You're very much a Libran. I mean, they talk about cusp signs, and you will have tendencies for the previous sign where the other planets are. Like you have Mercury in Virgo, so that will color the sun sign Libra. But anyway, with the sun in Libra and the moon in Scorpio, the moon influences our daily routines. The moon in Scorpio is you're a very, very hard worker. Whatever it is that you do, you want to get to the bottom of it, and you want to be good at it. And the daily routine of the moon in Scorpio is someone that needs to get to the heart of the matter. Is there something else I can answer for you?
Can you tell me what's happening, or anything exciting happening this year for me, or I need to watch out for?
Let me see. Well, I'm going to say something very general. The cardinal signs, Libra is a cardinal sign, and the cardinal signs have been affected by the Uranus-Neptune conjunction that happened 2 years ago. This is a little bit of a story, okay?
I was writing, what is a cardinal sign, number one?
Okay. Cardinal sign are the leadership signs. There's cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So cardinal is Libra, Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer. So this Uranus-Neptune conjunction that happened 2 years ago was in the sign of Capricorn, which is cardinal as well as Libra. So all of the cardinal signs were affected by this conjunction that happened. And well, all of us were. But what's interesting about it is that 171 years ago, we had this same conjunction, and it was the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Now, with what happened in 1992, which had started to be felt 4 or 5 years before, it's the beginning of the communication revolution. As we can see, I mean, everywhere we look, there are things to do with computers, television, radio, information. So anyone that has a cardinal sign in some capacity or another is going to be interested in helping to restructure the way business and many different aspects of our lives will be affected.
That answer your question, Shelley?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep listening.
Okay, thank you. Again, you can call in at 241-1310, 241-1310. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with Mary Michele, and we're going to talk about astrology and horoscopes just a couple seconds away on Meet the VIPs. Chevrolet Geo, Saab, and Katona has been busier than usual. They've sold a lot of Chevys, Geos, and Saabs in the last few months, and they're ready to deliver a lot more. There's plenty of inventory on its way to Arrowway, and that means good news for you. They'd like to invite you down to Arrowway to take advantage of their low prices. And not only that, you'll be able to experience firsthand how their sales and service staff at Arrowway really treats you right. That's why so many people keep coming back to Arrowway again and again. You'll never get the runaround when you shop at Arrowway. That's why Arrowway has one of the top 10 customer satisfaction rating indexes in the entire United States. It takes a lot of happy customers to achieve an award like that. So head on down to Arrowway Chevrolet Geo, Saab, and Katona. Take a test drive, check out the savings, and join their family of friends at Arrowway. You'll find them on North Bedford Road, Katona. Remember, at Arrowway, you'll find savings in every direction. Hurry down to Arrowway Chevrolet Geo, Saab, and Katona today. All right, we're going to talk to Joan just a minute away here at WVIP on Meet the VIPs.
I'd like to tell you about a great new shop in Katona called The Bare Necessities. The Bare Necessities is a unique, upscale, and personalized boutique for women and children. Ruth Ann's beautiful new location offers the finest in lingerie and accessories, pantyhose, underwear, and loungewear. All are quite lovely and tasteful. You'll find stunning cotton terry robes in pastel colors, long underwear and pajamas for children, and a fabulous selection of nightgowns and bathrobes. Ruth Ann has something special for everyone, including slippers, boxers for boys and girls, and wonderfully styled designer pocketbooks and totes, perfect for springtime. There's even a special corner for the kids to play while mom shops and relaxes. Treat yourself today to the impeccable service, styles, and selection at Katona's newest gem, The Bare Necessities. For hours and information, dial 232-3637, 232-3637. The Bare Necessities is open daily Monday through Saturday and located at 26 Valley Road. Mention WVIP and you'll receive a free gift with your purchase. The Bare Necessities, original designs, country charm, and affordable prices.
Welcome back to Meet the VIPs. Mike Cernoff, Lori Blanchard, and our special guest, Mary Michele. We're talking horoscopes and astrology, and on the phone, good morning to Joan.
Hi there. I was wondering what the year is going to hold for me.
Okay, would you mind telling me the year and day of your birth?
March 3rd, 1943.
43.
Okay, by the way, while you're looking it up, may I tell the people who are on hold right now, we do have a couple, please hold on. You will get on the air. We are accepting phone calls at 241-1310. Mary Michele?
So March 3rd, 1943. Let me say that the last 6 months or so have been a time when perhaps you've had a little bit less energy, but things have been coming back to you. Things that were started 15 years ago have come full circle. Saturn, the planet of work, that which makes life difficult for us, but also gives us the greatest joy, has been going over your sun. So what you started 15 years ago has come to fruition now and will be for the next 6 months, but it has been probably a little wearing. So,
Have you experienced that, Joan?
I think so.
Yes.
All righty. Thank you, Joan.
Great,
And
thank you.
let's get to the
Thank
next
you.
caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Mildred.
Mildred.
hi, Mildred.
Hi,
Mary Michele.
Michelle.
Yeah. Tell me what year you were born in?
27.
Sorry?
1927.
27. Okay.
And-
Please, if you are talking to us, make sure your radio is turned down so we don't get any feedback, please.
And what is the date of your birth?
It's August 29th.
August 29th.
Right.
Okay. August 29th. Okay, so let me see. All right. This what I was talking about to the previous caller with Saturn has been opposing your sun. So it's been probably not as satisfying. But again, it is the cycle of 15 years. Let me just go on a little bit. What was it, 29th?
Yes.
Okay, you're the first day, the sign that rules Virgo, Mercury, is also in the sign of Virgo. So it's you have a very, very mercurial, which means that you're very much of the mind. Do you work in something relating to the intellect?
Computers.
Ah, perfect. Okay, yeah, okay, that's perfect. So, well, I would say that within the next 6 months, you might be coming up with either working with new systems or helping to create them, which I know is true in computers. It changes every week. But are you involved in some way of creating the new systems?
No.
No. All right, well, maybe you might have an idea of doing that. Let me see now.
Health. Or, whether that was something that might be in this year. I've been in very good health, so I wanted to stay that way.
Right. You have Mars, the planet, the theme of today, in the sign of Virgo. So there is a tendency to be, with the Sun in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, you can be very, very nervous. And you might have stomach issues or rashes or skin rashes and things like that. The best thing that I can say to you is to try to have a little more fun and relax with things.
That sounds like a good idea.
I have
All
a
right.
question for
Yeah.
you, Mary Michele. Do you believe that our sign is a direct influence
Who's
to our
this? You're next.
personality? Do you feel that our sign
Carmela, hold on.
forms our personality in terms of if you're a Leo, you're a strong personality, or is it really where the planets are in relation to your sign when you're born? Does it all depend? Like, are there varying degrees of
Yes,
personalities within
there are many,
each
many
sign?
varying degrees. And also let me state that I also believe that the main varying degree is the idea of free will. There's an old saying in astrology, the stars incline, they do not compel. The philosophical age-old discussion, which I love, is which is fate and which is free will. There is no easy answer to this. Day follows night. We know that's fate. We know this happens every single day. And yet we are able today to make night day with electric light, with just changing our clocks, whatever it is that we do. So there's always a component of working with the idea of that which is fated. Does that answer your question, or I get off the...
Yes,
Okay, well,
yes.
we've got Carmela on the phone now.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Carmela.
Good morning.
Could you tell me your year of birth?
1965.
1965. I need to know the year first because that'll get me in the right place. Okay, and the month and day?
June 22nd.
June 22nd. Okay. You may have thought that you were of the sign Gemini, but technically you are born on the first day of Cancer. Did you know that?
Yes, I
Yeah. Okay. So you know something about astrology?
a little bit.
Okay. You have the moon in Aries. Let me see. Let me get to the Mars, because that's kind of the theme of today. So Mars in Virgo. Okay, Mars in Virgo is it's the place in which Mars, the best way to handle Mars in Virgo would be to deal with issues of service, help, health. helping others. Sometimes your energy, the thing that gets you going in the morning, or the way in which you get angry, which is Mars, might be a little not open enough. You might sort of hold it back and hold that energy in, and it gets very analytical. You might get terribly, terribly analytical about the way that you just get yourself going in the morning. So the way that you take that energy of Mars, is that you use it to make it work better for you, to use it in an area of service. Service does not necessarily mean working for someone, in a subservient position. It means that you are helping people, helping others in some capacity. And it'll probably be working again with the mind.
Okay. All right, thank you. And let's go to the next caller now. And Mary Michele, I'm going to ask you to keep it a little shorter. We've got tons of phone calls here. We got all the lines lit up right now.
Okay.
People who are listening now, please, if you are on hold, we will get to you. We're taking phone calls at 241-1310 on Meet the VIPs with Mary Michele. Good morning. You're on the air. Who's this?
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I guess that person is not there now. Let's go to the next caller, which is line 5. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello.
What happened to these people?
I'm on the
Oh, there
I'm
you
on
are.
the phone.
Okay, there you are. Who's this,
Hello.
please?
Oh, who's this?
Yes, are you waiting to talk to Mary Michele?
Yes.
Okay, you're on the air with us. Go
Oh,
ahead.
all right. My birthday is December 8th, 1915.
1915.
Yeah.
You sound like it was 1950. Don't worry.
1915. Does it go that far
Oh, of course
back?
it does, yes. 1915.
What is your name?
Flora.
Flora. Oh, what a pretty name.
Flora.
December
December 8th.
8th. Okay, December 8th. You have the sun in Sagittarius, as I'm sure you know. And
Sagittarius.
yes, do you know some of the qualities of Sagittarius?
Yes.
That it's a philosophical sign, someone that enjoys discussion and higher learning?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you also have Mercury there. So you should be having a lot of energy right now. Do you feel good?
Yeah, I have a lot of energy.
Yeah, really. And it's
At
going to...
my age.
Yeah, I think it's great, and it's going to go on, for definitely the rest of the month and probably on after that. But right now is a good time, so anything that you can start afresh and new, your Mars, the planet of energy, is in a very, very good place. So take that to heart and
Take advantage of the opportunity.
right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, Flora?
A question?
Yeah.
Well, a question is that right now, at this point, I'm having problems with my family, not with myself. Health problems. Health.
Are these financial issues?
Both. I'm doing both for my children.
Mm-hmm. You are restructuring financial issues for your children, which probably are going to take a little bit of time, but you're headed in the right direction.
I see.
Okay? It's going to take some time, but don't worry about it. It will work out, and you're making the right arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
All righty, thank you for calling. I have a question. A lady called in, did not want to be on the air, but the question was this. If you have labor-induced, this is the exact question, if a child is induced, what is that child's correct sign? Is it the sign that she was actually born under or the sign she should have been born under? This was a question that got phoned in. Lady didn't want to be on the air.
Okay, it's your first breath of air.
So it would be the day you're actually
sign.
The
born.
day you're actually
Okay.
born, yeah.
July 5th, 1945.
1945. Is this you, Mike?
Yeah.
This is yours, Mike?
Yes.
All right, 19.
Boy,
I've given
Mike.
away my age here,
Mike,
and, you
wow.
know,
We're having a landmark birthday this year now, aren't we, Mike?
that's enough out of you, little one.
Well, I'll make you a cake. I'm going to make you a cake.
July 5th?
Yes, 1945, a Thursday at 6:04 a.m.
Well, I can't. That requires a few more calculations. But
Okay.
I can tell you that you have the moon in Taurus in a very harmonious aspect to the sun. So what that means is the sun is the consciousness, the conscious part of the brain, and the moon is the unconscious, that which are our habits and routines. I have the moon in Taurus. It's a very, very nice place for the moon. They say the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus. It means that you are good at getting what you need. It will come to you. Things will always come to you. Trining the sun, sextiling the sun, I'm sorry, in Cancer, they work well together. Your ability to bring your unconscious up to the surface in a way that feels comfortable to you is easy. You're good at it. You're very, you might experience, as we all do, times that it's not as easy, but as a rule, you are someone that feels pretty good about themselves.
Okay, we are talking to Mary Michele on Meet the VIPs. We're talking horoscopes and things like that. We will be back. We are taking your phone calls at 241-1310. Again, if you are on hold, please do stay there. We will get to you in 1 minute on Meet the VIPs.
Are you thinking of redoing your office or opening your own business? Why pay top dollar for furniture when you can buy previously owned and reconditioned office furniture at the Used Office Furniture Store? The Used Office Furniture Store has a wide selection of office furnishings, ranging from lateral file cabinets to computer workstations, as well as special items such as mahogany antique desks and library tables. Their resources can locate any piece you're looking for but don't want to pay high retail prices for. Come visit the Used Office Furniture Store at their new showroom, conveniently located in the Empire Plaza on Route 22 in Patterson. They're open weekdays 10 to 5 and Saturdays and Sunday from 11 to 4. Call them today at 278-7500. It's as easy as that. The Used Office Furniture Store. Tell them what you want, they'll find it, and it's yours at rock bottom prices. And that number one more time, 278-7500.
All right, welcome back to Meet the VIPs. I'm Mike Sarnoff, along with Lori Blanchard, and our special guest is Mary Michele. We're talking horoscopes and things like that, and we're taking your phone calls at 241-1310. I should note that this is being broadcast live on Tuesday, 2nd of May. So if we are repeating this and you see, we'll put your, the number there. Don't call in after Tuesday, the 2nd of May, okay? I'm not going to be here. Maybe some other people, I don't know. All right, we're talking to Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Kathy. My birth year is 1952.
Mm-hmm.
My birth date is October 28th.
October 28th. Okay. October 28th. You have the moon in Pisces. There is, again, this harmonious aspect with the sun and the moon. The sun in Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. Pisces is also a water sign, so the sun and the moon are working well together. Is there a particular answer that you had? Question that you had?
Yes,
I could answer. Uh-huh.
I'm at a bit of a crossroads right now, and I don't know which way to go. I don't know whether to put my work first or to take some time off and devote a little more time to my family and to some problems here at home. I'd like to continue working, and I'm not really sure what I should do. Do you have any idea of what would be the best way, the most harmonious way in my life right now?
The planet Venus, which is the planet of love, but it also happens to be the planet of money, is in a very good, the transiting one, the one that's going on right now, is in a good place to your natal Venus. So in terms of money, I don't think that there is a lot of I think you're worrying a little unnecessarily about money. So the possibility of introspection, which comes pretty naturally to Scorpio, and you have other areas of Scorpio. You have Mercury in Scorpio as well. So it's probably, if you're thinking that you need to go inside, you need to do it.
I see.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Kathy. And on the phone with us now is Valerie. October 17th, 1957. We're going to try to give you some additional information here. Good morning, Valerie.
Morning.
Okay, any particular question you have for Mary Michele?
Wait a minute.
The 15th.
October 15th.
No, October 17th, 1957.
Okay.
I just wanted to know if you could tell me something about my immediate future. I don't know, there seems like there's been darkness lately, and I was hoping that there might be some kind of light, after the tunnel.
Does this darkness have to do, are you having difficulties, do you work with women, or are you involved with women in some capacity?
Well, I work with a lot of women. I work with the mentally handicapped, but I work with mostly all women.
Uh-huh. Is it some of this female energy that's causing you some difficulty?
It's possible.
Yeah. This will pass very shortly, within the next couple of weeks. I think what you need to try and not